Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is sports, entertainment, and extra shit. It's your boy Ciege, man. What's going on? I'm with my man E. Carter. What's going on, E?
Going on. Be back. Great show ahead, man. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. As everybody
Yes, sir.
knows, this is the Tuesday after championship NFL championship Sunday. So that's what we're gonna dive into for the crux of today and a little bit of NFL news. So buckle your seat belts, put your helmet on. I know somebody gonna bump their head in this show, maybe, or y'all might bump y'all head up against the computer listening or whatever. But drop them comments below, like, share, subscribe, and y'all know how we do. Let's go. We gonna jump right into it. I know everybody want to talk about this because we live in Ohio, so everybody want to talk about this one. So we're going to get this out the way for y'all. Out the way. We're going to talk about the Bengals versus Chiefs. E, I'm going to let you kick this one off, man. You had the Bengals on this show. You had the Bengals. So, man, just go ahead and do your thing, man.
All right. For one, I'm going to just get it out the way. I'm going to say congratulations. I'm not going to start off being the hater. I'm going to say congratulations. For everybody that listens to the C-Cast, y'all know I picked the Bengals to win on this show. But if you fast forward, on the 4-3 podcast, I had a change of heart and I picked the Chiefs. So, I'm going to be honest. I'm a man about mine. I was actually silently rooting for the Chiefs as well. So, overall, man, it was the Bengals actually surprised me, man. I'm not going to front. I picked them on this show because I'm like, all right, this home team. I don't never root for home team. I'm a Baltimore fan when it comes to football. I'm a Boston fan when it comes to basketball. I'm a Yankees fan when it comes to baseball. You know what I mean? Like I still mess with the Reds, but overall, I'm a Yankees man. So I'm like, you know what? Let me go for home team for once. But the more I thought about it, the more the week went out. I'm like, it's not. We're not going with that. But they actually surprised me, man. The way the game started off was actually what a lot of us expected. You know what I mean? Patrick Mahomes coming. I can't even really call him Pat Money right now because he was not up to par. Later in the game. So he Mahomes today. So Patrick Mahomes, man, he started off hot. You know what I'm saying? He came in. He was doing his thing at first, throwing lasers, running around, throwing the ball on the rope in the end zone. Like it just looked like it was gonna go downhill from there. Like you just seen the route on, and um, then the game started slowing down. Like it started slowing down, and then they was right in that situation that they was in week 17, where they was down by 11. You know what I'm saying? And it's like okay, this is starting to look like what we kind of seen this before. You know what I mean? Are the Bengals really going to come back and all of that? And I know on the 4-3 we had talked about their offensive line and all of that type stuff. So even with that offensive line, man, Joe Burrow actually Joe Shiesty. If we're gonna do nicknames, he Joe Shiesty today. Joe Shiesty put the team on his back, man, and that second half it was definitely a tell of two halves, man. Definitely. Um, I don't know, man. Like I said, Patrick Mahomes, he overall for him a pretty average, subpar divisional championship game, man. Like he went 26 to 39, 275 passing yards, three touchdowns, two picks. Uh, One of those picks, of course, was to seal the game off, um, basically, and then the first pick was a tip pass by a lineman. They got their paws on it and took it. Um, I thought that it was going to come down to the rushing game, and he actually was running the ball very well, surprisingly. Um, McKinnon, I'm not really a big fan of McKinnon. I don't know if it's because the way they use him with the Chiefs or not, but he ended up having 12 carries, 65 yards. He was averaging 5.4 yards a carry. Uh, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he had 6 carries. He had 36 yards. He was averaging 6 yards a carry. Patrick Mahomes, he got out the pocket a couple of times and actually ran for it. He ended up having 19 yards, averaging 6.3 yards a carry. You know what I mean? So, like, and I know between me and you, we also like to kick it a little old school. Like, you got to run the rock, got to keep the defense honest. And in that first half, they was doing a real good job of that. But I think in the second half, I don't know, man. It's just like the whole game plan, the whole idea just kind of shut down, man. So I don't know. What's your takes on it, man?
Real quick before I get into that, I want to put a comment up. Our man Chris Yank, shout out to Chris Yank. He said, "How dare you, bro?" So probably, how dare you either pick the Bengals or how dare you change? But probably, how dare you pick the Bengals if I know him? All right, so shout out to Yank. If y'all anybody else got comments, drop them. But we'll try to get them in through the show. That what you about to say, bro? In response to how dare you?
I was just saying, one, my brother, thanks for the comment. I don't know, man. It just hit me kind of quick, man. I just had an impulse, man. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go for him. And then, like I said, by the time I got to Saturday, I'm like, nah, I can't do it. But it is what it is, you know. I'm not rooting for him in the Super Bowl, but that's another, you know what I'm saying, another conversation.
Right. Now, me just get down to it, like you said, in the beginning of the game, that's exactly how I thought it was going to happen. If they couldn't stop Mahomes from doing, Mahomes things. Like, he's a daring type of quarterback. He likes to dare. Oh, I'm going to run across the field over here and then throw it all the way to the other side. Like, do that type of stuff. And I'm going to get to part of that in a minute with that interception he threw in overtime, which I don't know why he even threw it over there. But anyway, he had a great first half. He had a very, very Jimmy G type of second half. Like I always talk about Jimmy G. The second half, I think he had 12.6 yard passer rating or 12.6 passer rating. Like, that is well below average and pretty bad. But we know he's not a bad quarterback. Conversely, Joe Burrow, I mean, he was just consistent. He was just steady. It wasn't like he had the greatest AFC Championship game we've ever seen, but it was consistent. He threw a pick, but he didn't throw the dagger pick. You know what I mean? That turned the game, on his head. T. Higgins, we talked about T. Higgins on the 4-3 podcast Saturday, and I was saying, like, he's that first down, that receiver who gets those first downs. He did a lot more than that. This time he had 6 receptions, 103 yards, and he had 10 targets, so that was amazing. Jamar Chase, just to compare, had 6 receptions for 54 yards, and he did score, though. And then Samaje Perine, if that's how you pronounce his first name, had 3 receptions, 43 yards, and a touchdown. So they got it. They got it in more than one place. I personally thought Ciege Uzomah, however you pronounce his last name. Correct me if y'all know the correct pronunciation for his name. But yeah, man, I thought he would be a big factor, and I think that T. Higgins got some of those residual targets and yards from what he was going to get because he's a big play tight end. Got injured in the first quarter, which is still the first half. But I thought that he would be a big contributor in terms of making big catches, and he was out. So once he went out, I was like, oh man, this might get a little bit bad. Joe Mixon, you talked about the running game with McKinnon. He had a decent game. He had 21 attempts, as far as rushes, and then 88 yards. He also had 3 receptions for 27 yards. So he caught all 3 of his targets. So he made an impact in the game. Impact in the game where he outplayed McKinnon, and I think that's the way that Kansas City should really look back at this type of game and see like what they did wrong, because when you have a running back in the first half who was playing as well as McKinnon was, especially running up the middle, when you run up the middle and you're having that success up the middle rushing the ball, why would you stop running the ball? Like, that makes no sense to me. So I thought that was pretty bad. But other than that, I mean, they spread the ball out pretty well. He they got a little trigger happy, and you can tell when you look at the stats. Kelsey had 10 receptions, 95 yards. Tyreek Hill had seven receptions, 78 yards. Miko Hartman had 3 receptions, 52 yards, and they all 3 scored. But then you look at the attempts for Patrick Mahomes. He had 39 attempts. So I mean that's in 275 yards. So it's like you know what I mean. You could have spared some of those passing attempts for rushes, especially when you were up. What were they up 21-3 in the first half? So
Yeah.
yeah, 21-3 in the first half. They didn't get another point until the third or till the fourth quarter when they kicked the last
No,
field
no,
goal.
yeah, take that back. It was 21-10 in the first half.
21-10, 21-10 in the first half. You're right. 21. Yeah, 21-10. You're right. So they didn't score another point until the fourth quarter when they got 3 points. So they had a 3-point second half. Whereas if you don't count overtime, that 3 points in overtime where Evan McPherson he kicked the game-winning field goal, then Cincinnati had 14-point second half, and then obviously the 3 points in overtime, like I just said. So 17-3, man, like that's 14 points. That's 2 touchdowns. You gotta have them. And then lastly, like I said, oh my bad, real quick. Lastly, like I said, that pass in overtime. Like I get it, you're trying to take a shot, but it was 2 defenders right there, so that was boneheaded right there. And I think that type of play is what I was saying. Like if you can stop Mahomes from doing those daring plays that he always gets, you know what I mean, throwing it in between coverage. My arm is great, my accuracy is great. Then you got a great shot, and we seen they stopped the running game, and they got those 2 picks, man.
Yeah, like I was saying, like you may have mentioned the second half. So just going, I got to pull it up, man. The defense, I don't know what that locker room speech was about at halftime for Cincinnati, but they came out with a lot more energy. So you got third quarter, started the third quarter one. I think what actually hurt the Chiefs, which I didn't understand, because I did not like I was making a quick story around when the game started, so I didn't know who got the kickoff. But the way they ended the second quarter, I assumed that the Bengals was getting the kickoff because they was trying to score another touchdown, which they didn't get, and then you end up the half with no points. You should at least kick the field goal, and that could have been beneficial, towards the end of the game. But they started off the third quarter with the ball. They got 5 plays. They do a five and out, man. They only got 16 yards. They ended up only using like 2 minutes off the clock. Bengals end up putting in 4 plays. You got Kansas City again, 5 plays, another 2 minutes off the clock, 17 yards. The Bengals come down, get a field goal. Then the next Kansas City drive, they got that 2 plays, interception. Only took off 40 seconds. The Bengals came back with a touchdown right after that. Then they punted again. That's the third quarter. So the third quarter alone, you only got you get 16 yards on one drive, you get 17 on another with an interception. Only got 7 on, and then right before the fourth quarter, that last possession, you go -2 yards in 3 plays. You know what I'm saying? And then the fourth quarter, punt, field goal, overtime. You only get the fourth quarter. They only held you down to 2 possessions in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Because the Bengals, even though they wasn't putting up a lot of points. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, with that, they was doing a lot of it was going back and forth. But that second drive in the fourth quarter is what made the game. That second drive, they only ended up with a field goal, but that's all they needed at that time. You know what I'm saying? That was what they needed at that time, but they used up 6 minutes off the clock. 6 minutes and 23 seconds in the 11-play drive, clipped only 46 yards, but you eating up the clock. And anybody who knows, when you got quarterbacks like the Tom Brady's, the Aaron Rodgers, and now you got the Patrick Mahomes, or you can even throw Josh Allen into that conversation as of this year. You want to keep them on the sideline. And that's what the Bengals and Joe Burrow ended up doing, man. They kept him on the sideline, especially in the fourth quarter. And then, of course, you always keeping him on the sideline is job one. Job two is going down and being able to score points. So um, it's just like you said, that whole debacle in the second half, man. They came out flat. Like they was definitely not moving the ball. And I kind of wish that the uh the little play statistics that I'm watching actually showed like how many passes or runs happened on that drive, because that would be a big up to where we can see how pass happy they were. They definitely, like we said, they went away from the running game. Um, and then you got the pick in overtime. So, and like you said, he forced it, took a shot. Um, but the whole trend still continued. They had three plays, didn't get a single yard. Only took 14 seconds off the clock. He threw a pick on the third play. Like, then all you got to do is get in field goal range. Took 9 plays, 42 yards. Took another 5 minutes off the clock. You know, set your field goal kicker up into a good position. You know, win the game. So I don't know, man. I think I want to say play calling, but Andy Reid is a genius. But at the same time, it's just I think the if you know the game of football, you know it's always adjustments. So you come in with a game plan for the first half. You come in for a game plan for the first your first 12 plays, offensive plays might be scripted. You know what I mean? But then you have to adjust for the second quarter. Then you got to do a halftime adjustment. The Bengals defense definitely did that. And when it comes to, we always say the classic saying is defense win championships, especially when it comes down to the playoffs. They was letting Patrick Mahomes run around that whole first half. He can kind of do what he want. They kind of shut that down towards the second half and kind of picked their poison a little bit, and it showed. It showed. So you know, the big ups to the Bengals defense, because they definitely showed up when it mattered, and that's kind of what we was alluding to when we had talked about it on the 4-3. Is that I felt that it was going to be a shootout going into the game, just from the previous game that they played in Week 17 and the type of offenses that they have. They both have pretty high power offenses, um, but it was which defense is going to step up and make those plays when it was time for it. And the Bengals stepped up and made those plays when it was time, and they rose to the occasion. So I don't know, man.
Yeah, they were. They the thing about the Bengals defense that I respected this week is the same thing I was saying about the 49ers defense when it came to Green Bay and what I thought that they could do to neutralize Devontae Adams. They kept Tyreek Hill in front of him. They did not let him get behind. And it's like when you don't try to do extra and try to be extra fancy against these high-powered offenses, like you don't have to send linebackers from every which way every play, or you know what I mean. Of course, you want to send pressure here and there and disguise coverages, because if you come out in the same thing every play, you know what I mean. And Patrick Mahomes is gonna make you pay for it. But what they did was could roll coverages over to Tyreek Hill and just kept him in front of him. You know what I mean? And I thought that was and like I said, he did score, but it's like, yeah, he scored, but he wasn't as effective, especially from a yards perspective or big play perspective, like I can't think of his name right now. Travis Kelce. He didn't have that type of game. I mean, they were close. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he had 7 receptions for 78 yards. Travis Kelce had 10 receptions for 95 yards. But it wasn't the Tyreek Hill show. And I thought that they did a good job of keeping him in front of him and neutralizing him from that perspective. And then another thing is that we got to show love to the kicker, man. We got to show love to the kicker. He went 4 for 4. I think he is the first kicker, and I think this is according to NFL.com. He's the first kicker in NFL history to have 2 games back to back in the postseason where he went 4 for 4. Oh, what? No, I'll take that back. He went 4 for 4 in all 3 games of the postseason so far, and nobody has done that in NFL history. So, yeah. Cool. So he doing his thing in the playoffs. We got to show him some love. So he scored 12 points in 3 games for them. and that's a big reason why they going to the Super Bowl. So got to show him some love.
Yep.
Another thing, man, is it was like we stated with when we're talking about the running game. Like I said, I just don't understand why they stopped running it, and maybe in a press conference or something like that, they'll how they drop little nuggets about their game plan. But yeah, I don't know, man. I just don't know why they stopped doing that. One last thing I want to mention about this game is after the game, Eli Apple decided he wanted to call Tyreek Hill Baby Cheetah. And I don't come on, Eli Apple, man. Yeah, you was a lead tackler in the game, bro, but you had 6 tackles, 1 assisted, bro. You're not the GOAT. Cut it out. You show some respect. That type of talk is gonna get you burnt in the next game. But yeah, I wanted to bring that up because I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely funny. I seen that too. I'm like, man, Eli Apple was talking trash. Eli Apple. All right, man, come on, man. You need to calm down, fella.
Right, you got to the Super Bowl, chill, just chill. You're not the one on the team. That should be said. We know you and you talented. You in the NFL. We got it. We get it. You happy. You need to relax. You need to relax.
Right, because you got a big mountain coming up in 2 weeks. Cause you tripping.
You need to be focused, man. You got to cut that out. But anything else you want to say about this game before we move along?
Nah, man. Besides, I'm glad this is the first time in a while we got 2 different quarterbacks or 2 different teams in the Super Bowl, man. So that's always a good look, some fresh faces. Other than that, man, we can hit this next game because I know you ready to talk about your boy.
Yeah, man. I do want to add this too, Joe Burrow. We knew he was going to be good. I thought this was a year early for him to get to the Super Bowl. I thought next year they'll be making a push. You hit me with a stat too that said he was the first second-year quarterback to lead his team to the Super Bowl. So congratulations, Joe Burrow, on that. Man, you doing your thing, man. We had trade Bengals, bro. We had trade y'all Baker Mayfield. Nah, let me stop. Hey, for everybody who don't know, bro, every time somebody say something about Joe Burrow, I'll be like, we had trade y'all Baker Mayfield. But whatever, man. Baker gonna do us better this upcoming year. That's a story for another day, though. All right. And, moving along. 49ers versus Rams. Oh, I got something to say about this one.
I'm about to say, you can go ahead and kick it off.
Listen, man, I just want to tell everybody what I say about Matthew Stafford, bro. I done told y'all. Don't hit my line about no Matthew Stafford. Don't hit the comments about no Matthew Stafford. I done told y'all, man. Now, was he the GOAT in this game? No, he wasn't GOATish. But he played the game to win, and he won. So that's how I'm gonna put on that. My main thing about this game, man, is I always say that, and this is just being all the way 100. And stopping with the joking real quick. Aaron Donald, man, listen, bro. I keep on saying about him too. He is the greatest defender, one of the greatest defenders of all time. Literally up there with the Lawrence Taylors, the Deion Sanders. When this man retires, he is going to be up there in the pantheon of defenders. He single-handedly went over there and rallied his team back, man. The defense plays so much better after they got that motivational speech. And I'm not saying that that's the sole reason why. Who wants to go to the NFC Championship just to lose? So he wasn't the, obviously can't do it by himself. But, man, listen, can we please give this man his props? Also, Odell, I got to put this out there. All them first downs you dropped, bro, with the Cleveland Browns, all you had to do, bro, is to call the Bengals and say, we'll trade y'all, Baker. No, I'm just I'm back joking. I'm back joking again. Man, he balled, bro. That's all I'm going to say about Odell. He balled. He had this is crazy. This is just crazy what where you feel comfortable what you could do. He had 9 receptions, 113 yards. Cooper Kupp, of course, did Cooper Kuppish things. He had 11 receptions, 142 yards, and he had both touchdowns on 14 targets. So that's that got to be up there. I haven't looked at the stats or the insights yet, but that has to be up there with like top AFC Championship performances, because that was a hell of a performance. Matthew Stafford, like I said, the thing about Matthew Stafford that I got to address real quick is that when you look at some players can just play, right? So some players can just play. They got all the talent in the world. They don't have the desire to win, no matter what team they're on. Like Jay Cutler, for instance. Jay Cutler can make all the throws. He you know what I mean? He had the biggest arm, one of the biggest arms in the league. But it just didn't feel like he wanted to win. You know what I mean? Like, you let Caleb Haney come in and you're supposed to have a leg injury, but you standing up and riding the bike. Like, go back in and play the game. You know what I'm saying? Go back in and will your team to victory. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's bringing up old stuff, obviously, but I felt like that. You feel like that with some of those players. But then you have players like Matthew Stafford, who was with a morbid organization, as far as I'm concerned, with the Detroit Lions. And he gets somewhere where he has the team around him, and he takes them to the Super Bowl. Now, true, did Jared Goff get them to the Super Bowl? Absolutely, he helped get them to the Super Bowl. But was he one of the contributing factors to get them to the Super Bowl? No, he turned the ball over entirely too much. So yeah, man, just the level of play is different when you see people who can just play. And then the reason why I bring that up is this. Matthew Stafford up is because of this. They had a pedestrian running game. Cam Akers, 13 attempts, 48 yards. That's 3.7 yards a carry. Then Sonny Michel had 10 attempts, 16 yards, 1.6 yards a carry. Matthew Stafford had 5 attempts, 8 yards, which is 1.6 yards a carry. Your backup running back gave you the same average as your quarterback. Like, that's not, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's not good. Y'all had 29 attempts for 70 yards. That's not good. So and then, conversely, you look at the passing stats and you say, okay, he had to throw it 45 times. He had to, he did, and he won the game. So I thought that was pretty good. And like I said, man, Aaron Donald, man. Aaron Donald, bro. Aaron Donald for president. Nah, he ain't for president, but you know what I'm saying, though. And then Jimmy G, and like I said about Jimmy G, last show, he goes up and then he goes down. He had a decent, pretty good actually, first half or whatever, especially by his standards. And then in that second half, towards the end of the game, when chips was on the line, it looked real bad, man. It looked real bad. So yeah. One other thing about this game, specifically the Rams defense, and then I'll let you go. So I'm not at risk of, talking overtime. But where was the Deebo Samuel sighting? Yeah, he had 4 receptions, 72 yards. He had 7 targets, but he didn't do, like off the wall Deebo. He wasn't off the wall Deebo. 7 receptions, 26 or 7 attempts in rushing, 26 yards. He had a decent game, but he didn't have superhero Deebo. And the sad thing about it is when you have he wasn't superhero Deebo, man. And when I mean superhero Deebo, I mean being able to overcome, doing more than enough to overcome Jimmy G. Like, we've seen Jimmy G have horrible second halves. You know what I mean? Jimmy G have a horrible second half, but Deebo is 2 touchdowns. You know what I mean? 6 to 8 receptions, 2 touchdowns, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. He played great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying he played bad. I'm just saying superhero Deebo. He wasn't able to overcome Jimmy G. And it's sad. It's sad because if they had any other quarterback, to be honest, like consistent wise in terms of, and the game was close, but if they had any other quarterback, like let's say, for instance, the quarterback situations were flipped, and Matthew Stafford played in San Fran. What? I'm still not taking Jimmy G. Like, get out of here.
Right.
That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion, man.
But all right, well, since you ended it on the Debo side, so I'm gonna start off with San Fran. Uh, One, I picked San Fran. I was 0 for 2 on Sunday. It's okay. It happens. Um, I had to rock with one of my brother's teams. Man, I know a couple Niners fans. I was rocking with them. Um, but at the end of the day, man, I said this on the 4-3 podcast is that Garoppolo is one of those quarterbacks you don't expect him to come out and throw 30 passes for one. Manage the game, keep it close, and if your team is in a position to win it at the end or get in the field goal range, then that's when he's supposed to step up. He's not supposed to come in and lose you the game. And like you alluded to, that's basically what he ended up doing. He ended up losing them the game. Um, and they was in a position to go on one final drive for the win. Now, Debo Samuel, as far as he did what he had to do as far as in the course of the offense, like you're talking about Super Debo, he took a screen pass to the crib, like
He
so
did.
that
He
that
did.
that 72 yards on four receptions. Them four receptions, at least three of them were all screens. You know what I'm saying? They was hitting them with the screens underneath because of the pressure that the Rams was trying to do. And one thing that I did also say on the 4-3 is that running game was going to be slow. And then nobody want to believe me. They're like, hey, nah, they run the ball. But I'm like, the Rams is going to play all or nothing type of style of defense, and which they did. You're not going to beat us controlling the clock and running the ball. You know, Jimmy G, Jimmy Garoppolo is going to have to beat us. If we're going to lose, we're going to lose on his arm, and that's the way they played the entire game. Uh, so they took them chances. So them wide receiver screens or quick little screens to the running back and all of that. Those plays was there. Brandon Nyuk, we mentioned him before too. He
Mm-hmm.
he stepped up. But he also only had four receptions. Like the thing is with Garoppolo, like when you looking at the numbers, yeah, he threw the ball 30 times, but he had 16 completions. You know what I'm saying? Debo he had four. Your top two receivers on the team only had four receptions. Then you got George Kittle with two for 27 yards and one touchdown. Like
Which that's a
one
crime.
Kittle's number should be higher. Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. His number should be higher. The running game couldn't get the running game off. He had another 26 on the ground on 7 attempts, 3.7 yards. Like they seen that. Like they've seen that all season. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, if he's in the backfield, boom, we playing our keys. We selling out on the run. And that's what they did. You could tell they had to go away from the run and try to put it on Garoppolo's back. He missed one wide open down the middle of the field to Kittle in the first quarter. I want to say it was on the first drive. He missed one. They could have went up
Mm-hmm.
early on that one. Debo had, like I said, 7 attempts, 26 yards, 3.7 yards to carry. Elijah Mitchell, he had 11 carries, 20 yards, 1.8 yards. Garoppolo had 4 yards, 1 attempt. Cal, man, he used to play for Baltimore, and I still don't know how to say his last name.
Use
I just
check.
call him Hughes. Yeah, Hughes check. I'm about to say I just call him Hughes. He had one attempt, didn't get nothing, got stuffed. You know what I'm saying? When it mattered. I want to say that was like a third down when that happened. So in total, they had 20 attempts for 50 yards. Like running the ball is what got you here. You know what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
get it when you're in certain situational football and the team is selling out on the run. Yeah, you got to put it on your quarterback's back, but it's like I don't know. I think the attempt should be a little bit higher than that, especially in the
Mm-hmm.
position that they was in earlier in the game. They was in the position of where you're up. You want to use some more clock, like I said about Cincinnati in the previous segment, was that they kept Mahomes on the sideline. They used 6 minutes off the clock. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. And I didn't really see that on a lot of these drives. Like I said, it started off exactly the way we kind of figured it, and I also said that if you have a I said if it's a low scoring game, I gave the edge to San Francisco between their special teams play and their defense. They're going to put Garoppolo in a position to where you could win the game. But like you said about Aaron Donald, they had a whole little quick segment to where he brought over the entire defense, and he was saying like, look, man, the only blemish that I have on my resume right now is a ring, and I want to go get it. Like if y'all like we here to go get it, and we said in the beginning of the season that the Rams have put together a all or nothing team. It's they're in LA. You got all the stars out there. Cooper Cup is balling. You bring OBJ over. You got Jalen Ramsey. You got Von Miller. You got Aaron Donald. You you swap out Goff for Stafford early. You know what I'm saying? So like you bring all of this over. Cam Akers, he had a good season last year. He was coming back, even though he uh was injured most of the season. Sonny Michelle, like you bring all of this talent over because you in an all or nothing situation. Like if you if you do not get to the big game, then the entire season, all those moves was a bust.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that's I'm just on the San Fran side, but that's just kind of what it is, man. And Garoppolo folded, man. But like I said, we said that he is not the guy that I know Niners fans that say it all the time. Like, man, I do not trust him with the game on the line. And you seen that last series, like nothing worked. Like you didn't. I don't know if it's the play calling. I don't know if it was just him. Like, all right, man, you got so much time on the clock. Everything needs to you need to have certain plays for things to come out quick. Now you want to run your best first down passing play, something that where this guy is probably going to be open. You probably going to figure Jalen Ramsey is going to be on Debo Samuel, so that's when you try to get a big play on Kittle with a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just stuff like that to where I didn't see. He was holding the ball, second guessing, and then the defensive line and the linebackers was turned up. So now you
Mm-hmm.
running around trying to make plays, and that's not your game. That's not your game at all. Like you're not Lamar Jackson. You're not Patrick Mahomes, where you can do 2, 3 spin arounds in the backfield and then find somebody 30 yards downfield. Like that's not
Yeah,
your
no,
game.
it's
The
not
ball
your
got to
job.
come out quick, man. Like you're not that guy. You're not that guy. So like you said, man, for Garoppolo, he actually had a pretty decent game, man. He threw for 232 and 2 tugs, but uh, that one interception,
Costly.
and it just wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. That interception is basically what sealed the whole game right there. Matthew Stafford, he threw the mug 45 times, but like you said earlier about the running game, he low key had to, which I think both defenses went in with the same mindset. You're not going to beat us with the running game. You know what I mean? You're not going to control the clock, control the down and distance with the running game. If you're going to win this game, you're going to win it on the arm of your quarterback. And Stafford, he got him this time because the Niners have been having the Rams number 6 times in a row. Of course, Stafford wasn't there for all 6 times, but they had him this season as well. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. They came in like you said. Cooper Cup did this thing, 142 yards. Odell Beckham, he did his thing, 113. Uh, I don't know, man. It was a great game. And before we continue on or close out this segment, I want to say this right here has been the best playoff football that I have watched in a long time.
Yeah,
Like
it's really not.
usually,
It's really not
you
even
kind of
a
people kind
debate.
of hit and miss on certain. Yeah, like sometimes people just hit and miss on certain games. Like, oh, okay, this game probably gonna be a blowout. I'm not watching this one. Like, I'm not gonna watch this one. I only had one game that I did that with, and that was when the Bucks was playing the Eagles. But other than that, like it didn't matter who the teams was. I'm like, I gotta watch it, and every game was coming down to the wire. You got the Bengals winning off field goals, the Niners winning off a field goal, the Rams coming through winning off last minute, last second field goals. You got the shootout with Buffalo and Kansas City that was freaking amazing. Like, it was crazy. Like, no lie, hands down, this is the best football playoff, man, NFL playoff postseason, man, I've watched in a very, very, very long time. And with all of that leading up to the Super Bowl, it gotta be a great one. It
You're
gotta be a
right.
great one.
Gotta be. But real talk though, man, it's a couple things you mentioned that I wanted to touch back on. You said that they should have ran the ball early, bro. I thought they should have kept running it late. San Fran, they was up 10 points in the 10 points I think in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I'm not. That's what I said. I might have just mis said it, but that's what I meant. I meant they should have ran the
I
ball
ran it
late because
late.
they was
I'm
up.
like, bro, like
Yeah, because
when I seen them and how what they was doing then, I was like, come on, man, like what are you doing? And again, just to uh, rein in on that point about Jimmy G, on the insight according to NFL.com, he had his first 7 drives. He was 15 to 24, 235 yards, 2 touchdowns. His passer rating was 122.7. Like he was on that path with those first 7 drives. And like I gotta give a shout out to S. Foster, who always says like it seems like when the situations are scripted for Jimmy G, like in the beginning of the first quarter or the beginning of the third quarter, after half, if he gets the ball, he normally comes out and looks pretty good. Like, you know what I mean? It's those situations to where you're saying like when the pocket breaks down, he got to spin around to get out of it. Like he tries, his game is that's just not him. So he needs. I think it seems like he needs that more of a structured offense. But then to go back and reiterate on him and how bad he played towards the end of the game, or how bad the Rams defense made him play, it was he was 1 for 6, -3 yards, and 1 interception on the last 2 drives. So you didn't even get a yard. Like you was going backwards. So you know what I mean. So that's and that turned out to be the difference in this game. But that's why we always say like, all right, well, if you have the quarterback, if you have a good enough quarterback, everything else, if you don't, has to be superb. And we seen a superb 49ers defense and Super Debo all season. You know what I mean? All season. You know what I mean? And they ended up being able to get him here. And kudos to them for getting here. Is they just was a little bit too short. And I don't think that that 20 for 50, like you said, was good enough. And I think all throughout this championship series, we've seen minimal carries for some reason and more arms of the quarterback, which is probably more exciting for most fans and for the NFL product. You know what I mean? But they gotta figure it out, man. That 20 for 50 killed them, especially when you was up 10. I would have put 10 more attempts on there or something, man. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
man.
what I was saying.
Yeah, you got to put 10 more
Like,
attempts or something on there. Burn some time.
but if you look at the whole playoffs, that's pretty much how what is boiled down to. It's it's the year of the quarterback. It's whose quarterback is going to make those plays at the right time. Even you can even say in the Bengal and Raiders game. You know what I'm saying? They was slinging it in that one.
Mm-hmm.
The Bengals and Titans game. It was about what Tannehill did towards that end of that game. The running game wasn't going. He had to throw the ball more than they probably would like him to, and he made bad decisions late. The Bills and Kansas City, that was a complete shootout. You know what I mean? They both completely abandoned the running game.
Yep.
Like for the most, besides the run on the court, that was running. Like that was it. But other than that, like nobody just handing the ball and just pounding the rock. It's like, nah, we gonna let these quarterbacks sling it out and see what happens. So I don't know. And this Super Bowl, man, this I think it's going to be exactly the same. Well, I know
Yeah,
we're going to talk
yeah,
about that next week. I can't wait.
yeah. We definitely gonna get into that next week. But as far as a few more little tidbits for the game that like to bolster our points here is the time of possession. You would think that San Francisco, with that type of running offense that they had, would have had a great time of possession this game. They did not. The Rams, man, like every time I see LA, man, I automatically want to say Chargers, but but the LA Rams had the time of possession of 35 minutes and 39 seconds, and then San Francisco had it for 24 minutes 21 seconds. So that, you know what I mean. So that's reversed, especially when you see those passing numbers. You would think that the incompletions was dropping the ball, stopping the clock, with, you know what I mean. So that was crazy when I looked up that stat. San Francisco has 6 penalties. Rams only had 2. And then third down conversion is a pretty decent indicator of who can and usually will win a game, since the turnovers were even. You know, I normally look at third down conversions after that. 61% of Rams third downs were converted, and conversely, San Francisco only converted 33%. So 3 indicators right there that let you know that in those tight games, you know, hey, you got to look at them, and then you can pretty much see where the outcome of the game was tilted. But yeah, man. So yeah, congratulations to those teams, man. We're gonna give y'all predictions and a preview or whatever next week. It's gonna be a live show. We might throw some traditions in there or something, give y'all some ideas, because we know y'all ain't cooking like us over there, doing nothing like us over there, little haters. No, I'm just playing. Nah, but if y'all got some traditions or whatever, y'all can drop them, send them to us or whatever, comment below. We add them up there, man. If y'all want to send some pictures of what y'all spreads be looking like, man, send them, man. We add them in here. Get y'all up on the C podcast. We want to see what y'all talking about. You know what I mean? Over here on Sports Entertainment and Extra Shit. But man, moving along with a little bit of NFL news here. We got, and this, I guess the theme of the background and all that is fitting, because the Raiders hired Josh McDaniels as their new head coach. I thought this was a little bit interesting, but it's a little weird too, because it's like, yeah, I'm about to bring something up that y'all probably not gonna like. I don't care. It's facts. This man had the coach job several years back, accepted the job, and literally walked out on him. You know what I mean? Had his staff hired and everything and left. Now, is somebody going to tell me that if Tony Dungy would have walked into a league office, hired his staff, or not league office, but his team office, got the job, hired a staff, and then walked out, he would have got another head coaching job? Lovie Smith would have got another coaching job? Come on, bro. Like, I don't like it. I don't like it, bro. I don't like it. It real talk. People are allowed to, you know, change their minds on positions and you know do that or whatever. Walk in, hire, get a contract, and then walk out and go. Cool, bro. That's the American way, whatever. But if that's the American way for you and you could walk out, why can't the player walk out? You know what I mean? Why can't, you know, is Josh McDaniels wasn't able to honor his contractual obligation? So I don't know, man. It's just weird for me. Now, as far as a football perspective, and I'll just add this in real quick. Yes, we've seen he can work offenses or whatever, orchestrate offenses for the Patriots, but we got Tom Brady, who hasn't been able to orchestrate an offense. Yeah, he's supposed to be one of the great offensive minds in the league. We'll see. The Raiders have a nice little cupboard in there. They got a nice little pantry. They got a lot of food, a lot of rice, a lot of staples in there. So he should be successful. But I don't know, man. I just don't like the fact that he walked out on the contractual obligation and he still get a job. But then you got other coaches out there who has success. You know what I mean? Who has some success. Or they don't even get the chance to have success And so basically, you're telling me, and I'm cutting that thought short for this thought. So you telling me Byron Leftwich couldn't? Is he not an equal offensive mind to Josh McDaniels? He didn't deserve a shot. So I don't know, man. That's
Right.
just my thoughts on that. I ain't really like it when I heard it, but I mean, congrats to him. He deserved a job, but well, like he broke a law or he broke a actual you know what I'm saying. And like he going to a store, robbed
Oh,
nobody or did nothing wrong, and then still got a job. But I just didn't like it because if it would have been Lovey Smith or Tony Dungy or Herm Edwards, you know what I mean, somebody like that, they wouldn't be in a position to get another job. So that's my thoughts on that. But I wanted to bring that up just mainly for that. What you think, man?
uh, we gonna see. You know, anything can happen in the off season, man. The off season, everybody be like, "Oh man, we got such and such as a coach," and all of that, man. Like, I'm still looking at my Ravens thinking about what are we doing as far as that, because we definitely just hired a new defensive coordinator, Mike McDonald. Uh, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really hip to his track record or anything. I guess but he young. I think he like around our age, like 34, 35 years old. So with that, I kind of give him a little edge. You know what I'm saying to it because you're younger, so those young minds are kind of help reinvent the wheel a little bit. But I don't know, man. It's the Greg Roman still there for me that I don't like. But
Oh, with the Ravens.
yeah,
Yeah.
so it's a lot of coaching changes and stuff like that going on. People getting hired, people getting fired, people leaving, people retiring. I think we'll get a definitely a good look at it. Especially around preseason or after the draft and see what teams is really looking like, especially with all the new coaching changes and things like that. So right now it's just kind of up in the air. I'm not a huge fan of Josh, but it is what it is. I think if he can get it going and start a identity over there in Las Vegas, then I don't know if he's gonna try to piggyback on what Gruden already had, or if he's gonna try to come in and make it his team. So we'll see. I guess we'll see. Still out on that.
Yeah, man. And as far as your Ravens, man, I don't know, man. You would know more about that than me, but it's funny that you said Greg Roman's still there. You want Greg Roman gone. Oh, that's
But I'm not. The
hilarious.
thing is, I'm not the only one. I'm not the only
Nah,
one, man. I
you
see it
not.
on Twitter every day. Every day, I see it on Twitter. They're like, bro, why is Wink gone? Like, why is Wink gone? Keep Wink. Get get rid of Greg Roman. Like, what are you doing, cuz? Like, it be certain plays, you just be looking like, bro, what is it? Why are you calling this, bro? Like, this is the first time we had like multiple weapons. Now, valid, a lot of people was injured this year and stuff like that, so you had to adjust. But overall, with the type of talent the Ravens have now versus me being a long time fan, like we have never had this type of offensive talent around the whole, from quarterback, running back, and receivers and tight ends since I've been a fan. It's always been one particular position. Like either your quarterback is a little bit above average or your running game is phenomenal. Like now uh you got a great quarterback in Lamar Jackson. You're starting to get some help out there on wide receivers, some people that can stretch the field. You got a all pro tight end. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
then the running game itself was running by committee, but you got decent running backs. Like I said, everybody was hurt, so I get it as far as this year. But overall, just be looking at the play calling like, bro, what are you doing, bro? Like you're not spicing none of this up, bro. Like I can look at a game and be like, oh, it's third and short, and I know exactly what the call is. If I know exactly what the call is as a fan, I'm pretty sure the guys that get paid to do it know what it is too. I
Facts.
don't know, man. I don't know.
I ain't gonna
But
sit here and
I'm
complain.
gonna have.
I ain't. Oh, go ahead. My bad. What you about to say?
No, I'm just saying I gotta let it go, man. We didn't make it, so I'll go through. I ain't trying to get myself any more gray hairs, at least not right now. So I'll worry about stressing on that next season.
Facts. I ain't even gonna sit here and complain about my coaching staff. We won a playoff game for the first time, damn near since I've been alive. So y'all keep doing y'all thing down in Cleveland, man. But no, I'm just playing. I was gonna say we trade y'all. Baker did his thing. He
Good
was the one.
trade.
Baker, the one who got us the playoff win, bro. So I ain't hating on him either, man. So all right, moving along on that. One more coaching carousel news. The Vikings looks like they are interviewing Jim Harbaugh. Man, listen, I'm going to be honest with you. When he left the San Francisco 49ers, I was like, Cleveland, bro. Cleveland. I don't care what type of bad blood he had with Jim York and all the ownership and GMs or whatever. Sign this man. Sign this man. The reason why I said that is because look at all the first round draft picks that they had even on the roster and that they couldn't get anything out of. And as soon as this man walked in the door, they turned into a Super Bowl contender. You know what I mean? He got the most out of Alex Smith. You know what I mean? He got the most out of Colin Kaepernick. He got the most out of that defense. And they played in the Super Bowl. And they had a great chance of winning after the lights went out, but they had a great chance. They had a great chance. Yeah, well, I guess before the lights went out, whatever. But they had a great.
It was about to get out of hand. It was about to get ugly, and then they pulled the plug on us.
Facts. That's right. Yeah. So yeah, man. So lights went out, whatever. Hey, man, they were in the Super Bowl. Now they're in the Super Bowl again now, but they have a good coach now. You know what I mean? But
they're not in the Super Bowl.
Well, they not. Well, they went to a Super Bowl. Is what I'm saying. They went to another one.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah, they went to another.
He was like, "But they in."
I meant they went to another one, but
they about to be in one. They had a shot. They had a shot.
They had a shot to get in this one, but they was in another one a couple years ago. That's what I meant. So yeah, good job correcting me on that. If I said they in there now, because they definitely not. They at home, but or on their way home. On their way home.
Because Garoppolo, he didn't get no cutty that night. It was all on him.
Right. But yeah, man, I don't know, man. I think this dude is a great coach in terms of just coming in and being able to utilize the talent that he has. Vikings have a lot of talent on defense. They're one of the best safeties in the league. I mean, they got a good decent linebacking core. Offense, they got Dalvin Cook and Justin Jefferson. Kirk Cousins is serviceable, even though he's one of the quarterbacks that I really don't care for. For multiple reasons, which we could discuss that in the offseason, I guess. But yeah, man, I think Jim Harbaugh, man, I say sign the man. I don't care who it is, what team it is, sign that man. What you think?
Jim a good coach, man. Like you said about his track record when he was with the 49ers. He came in, turned that team around. He been trying to, he did a good job pretty much with that team up north that we don't talk about or mention for real. So I mean, he's a good coach, man. He's definitely an NFL coach, and I think he had to he dropped down to college to get that to basically, man, get his engine back rolling, man. I think now it might be a good move. I think it's a great move for the Vikings if they do bring him back. So, and he's used to the NFC conference as well. So I don't know. I think it'll be a good move if they choose to go that route.
Yeah, and we know that he can coach. We know that he can coach college for what he did at Stanford, and like you said, the team up north, they're playing the NFL brand of especially defense. So I don't know, man. I think he'd be a good fit for them. But anyway, I'm not gonna spend too much on Jim Harbaugh. He not going to the Super Bowl next week. So moving along to entertainment, we just got a couple entertainments here. First, I wanted to mention, since I mentioned last week that Microsoft was acquiring Activision Blizzard, that Sony is acquiring Bungie. For those who don't know or don't play video games, I'm sorry. But for everybody here that's watching or will be watching, Bungie, or I guess if you don't know, this is for you. If you don't know, Bungie is the team who made the original Halos and the Destiny franchises, and millions and millions. Me, I'm a huge Halo fan. I'm actually playing through all of them right now. I'm on 3, but but for those who care, but anyway, going through all of those. Uh, so I appreciated Bungie, man. They gave me a lot of hours in my childhood, still into my adulthood. The thing I'm most excited about as an Xbox owner is that they are keeping everything multi-platform, so they're not just taking all of Bungie's creative properties and moving them all over to Sony. So thank you, Sony, for that one. That would suck. But anyway, man, I don't know. You got something to say about that? You don't really mess with Halos all like that.
I mean, I don't like. I really don't had nothing on it. I mean, I've played Halo. I've never owned a Halo, but I've played it, going over friends' house and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's definitely a good thing. Like, I'm a gamer, but I'm just a different type of gamer. You know me. But at the end of the day, man, Sony had to make a move. They're like, nah, we're not gonna let Xbox make all the moves out here. They had to do something.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting on which studios they decided to buy. Like Activision Blizzard, yeah, they have like Call of Duty, and those type of games, but they also have like Crash Bandicoot, and you know what I'm saying, like more arcade style games. So I think with Microsoft, we'll probably see a lot of those Crash Bandicoots and all of that stuff on, or more of them, I should say, because they have some arcade, a lot of arcade games on Game Pass, but specifically Activision Blizzard's properties will probably start showing up on Game Pass. Sony, as far as Bungie is concerned, that's more hardcore. I'm about to spend 20 hours playing Halo or level up on Destiny forever until the next one come out type of gaming. So that's just my opinion, but whatever. Maybe people don't game like that. I don't know. But anyway, that's what I'm excited about as an Xbox fan. Bring on all of the Activision Blizzard properties, and thank you, Sony, for not taking all the properties from Bungie and moving them over to y'all exclusively. Moving along, this your stuff right here, man. I have not had probably 1 week since the first season of Ozark came out where I have not heard somebody tell me to watch Ozark. I have not touched a minute of Ozark, but I'm thinking about starting because it's in my list. It's in my list. It's in my list. But man, tell me as an Ozark fan, why is Ozark? Why do I gotta watch it, bro? Like everybody's saying, I gotta watch it. The last time somebody said I had to watch something was Stranger Things, and I was pleasantly surprised and watched all the seasons except for the last one still because I got businesses to run. But but why I gotta watch Ozark, bro?
Then I have not watched Stranger Things at all.
You cut out a little bit.
Oh man,
Oh,
can you
there you
hear me?
go. There you
You hear
go.
me
There,
now?
there you go.
Okay. I'm about to say not now. Uh,
Right.
so Ozark, like when it first came out, I'm like, all right, let me see what this is about. So read the little description. I'm like, all right, cool. And then when the pandemic first hit, you know what I'm saying? I was out of work, so I'm like, man, I need something to binge anyway. That was the very first thing that I binged. I'm like, it's new. I see people talking about it. This might be something that I can actually be up to date with. You know what I'm saying? But it just started off wild, man. It's slow, but it's wild. Like if you're not paying attention to it, you gonna miss it in the beginning. Like I don't know, man. It's money laundering and people getting smoked out, bro. It definitely get wild. Next thing you know, man, you got this suburb type of family, bro, that's in the middle of a cartel deal. Now they working for a cartel. Like it's crazy. Like what? No, not little Jimmy and Susie. The kids got to know the whole business. What threw me very first episode, what threw me off, man, you got the husband sitting at the table. It looked like a regular, weekday morning, right? They coffee, breakfast, stuff like that. He's at the computer. Looks like he's doing business, but the camera pans around and shows what he's looking at. At first, you think he's watching porn. But no, he got a webcam or something. He's watching his wife cheat. Like he's seeing it live, like on his computer, watching it. Like, and she in there asking him if he wants some coffee. Like, hey, I made you some breakfast, babe. Hon, do you want some? And he's like, no, I'm okay. And he's just so cool, man. Like Marty Bird, bruh, is a savage, bruh, because he never really like goes off. Like, and all this chaos is going all around him. He's just like, oh yeah, I mean that's fine, but we can just do it like this, and then you know what I mean. He's just cool about it. And then this wow, his partner gets smoked out in the first couple of episodes. He about to die, but he didn't got the using his mouthpiece and using numbers. He good at numbers, so he ended up making it work. So they ended up having to move the whole family to the Ozarks. You know what I'm saying? It's where they had to go. That's why it's called Ozark. I ain't gonna lie, it's a lot of craziness, a lot of unexpected twists and turns. First season, they even offered to kill his wife. Like they knew the whole business. Like, man, you know your wife cheating. He like, yeah. I was like, hey, look, we can just go ahead and get her out the way if she gonna be a problem. He like, what? Like he actually had to think about it. Like, she has been cheating, and it was just crazy because she was about to skip town, leaving with her side piece and everything. Man, she had her side piece gig. She didn't took some money out the account and everything. Cartel then found out about it. She go to the bathroom to freshen up. Her whole side piece out the window. You know what I'm saying? Her husband Marty, he coming to get her, expose her, and all of that. Man, he know exactly where she at. He like, hey, look, bro, it's going down. We gotta go. He walking about to go to the building while Cuz smack right in front of him. He see Cuz, see his face. He turn around and go right back in the car. It's just crazy, man. Like I said, it's wild. And then season three, the way season three ended, it ended on somebody getting smoked. Like, and it was a good, like, pretty much a main character for that whole season, and then it just dropped. And then now season part one of season four then came out. It's just, I don't know, bro. It's just crazy. It's a lot of twists, a lot of turns. You seeing these white folks just doing complete savagery. It's definitely it's definitely wild, man. Big money, drugs, corporations, money laundering. It goes down, man. The
Did you watch?
Ozarks is where it's at.
Did you watch Breaking Bad at all?
Yeah, man. But somewhere in between, I ended up, working and business and all of that. I ended up stop watching it. I can't even, but I never finished it. I never finished it. But well, speaking of that, you saying it like that, you could kind of compare those two to where
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
why I brought it up because
start
it
off
sounds
start
like it's
off
kind of
slow.
Breaking Badish.
Yeah, you can definitely say that. So if you like Breaking Bad, you'll definitely like the Ozarks. Like my wife, she just started back watching the Ozark because at first when they first came out, she said it started too slow for her. I'm like, well, did you see this part or this part? She like, nah, I missed all of that. I'm like, oh, okay. So you just cut it on. You wasn't watching it. Like you expecting a shootout or something in the beginning. Like, nah, you gotta watch
Right.
this much. But yeah,
That's what's up,
definitely,
man.
man. You heard it from your boy. You heard it from your boy, man. You should. I think when you got some time, you got some time. Check it out because once you dive into it, you're gonna look up and then the sun is coming up. You're gonna be like, oh man, I've been sitting here binge watching this whole
Right.
time. Like it's definitely a good series, man. A good show.
That's what's up, man. If it's comparable to Breaking Bad, I'm all in. I loved Breaking Bad. I watched every episode of Breaking Bad, so definitely gonna check out Ozark. I mean, I had to get to the bottom of this, man. People were saying watch Ozark. Well, I'm like, man, I'm not watching it. Brother, you said you watched it. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to put this on the show. But yeah, man. So that's what's up. I'm gonna have to check that out. Now our next and last topic, y'all already know, is extra sheet. Man, what you got? You got any extra shit, man?
Oh, only thing extra, man, we got coming up, man. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the ribbon. Siege is coming back. Y'all favorite host for the Cast. He's coming back to be y'all favorite co-host on the First Class Podcast, man. The first episode is going down this Saturday, and we are doing a collab show with the morning show. So I got two brand new co-hosts. for the morning show, for the new segment that we got, new show that we got every Wednesday morning. You can check that out tomorrow. At 8 o'clock. We go live Facebook, YouTube, and also on Twitter as well on my Twitter page. Uh, so that'll be the first show, man. This Saturday, man. He's coming back to the show. We're gonna do a big collab. It's technically gonna be our Valentine's Day episode, man. It's gonna be guys and girls, and trust me, we are not talking about love in this one. But as far as extra, man, that's pretty much all I got, man. We might ruffle up some feathers with this one. I ain't gonna lie. Might mess up some happy home on accident.
Right, man. I got more of a call to action than some extra stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff going on: shootings, fires, the new variants of COVID, people arguing and fighting, politics, and when the elections come around, all of that stuff is going on. You know what I mean? So, I just want to tell everybody, man, y'all, we relax, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We all tense, relax. You know what I mean? If you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. You need to be around your friends, your close friends, man. Talk to somebody. Get around some people who love you. You know what I mean? That's helped me out a lot, tremendously. Do something you love. That's also helped me out tremendously. Man, just get some help, man, and treat people with kindness, man. Like you know what I'm saying? Like and the reason why I say this is because, man, I was talking to an older gentleman yesterday, and you know what I'm saying, I was just talking to him regular, and he said that was the first time somebody treated him with some respect all day, man. We got to stop treating people, you know what I'm saying, like they don't have lives too. So, and he ain't do nothing wrong, man. He just had a question, was trying to get somebody to help him. So y'all, you know what I'm saying, let's treat each other with some respect. You know what I mean? At least don't come off so standoffish all the time. You know what I mean? You might make somebody's day. You know what I mean? So just keep the kindness. If you need help, get it. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to ask for help. You'll come out better on the other side. I'm living proof of that. So, you know what I'm saying? And if you need help, y'all can always hit us up. Y'all can hit us up through email, and we'll find you somebody for somebody who will help you, man. And you can do that at linkentllc at gmail.com, or you can just go on the website, put in the contact us thing, man. We'll find somebody, man. We'll link you up for real. And you see what I did there? But yeah, we'll link y'all up for real. Like, that's something that's serious. We not playing with that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be kind to people, man, and treat people with some respect. You had a bad day, that's cool. Tell somebody you had a bad day. You know what I mean? Don't treat a complete stranger like trash. They might be going home to a messed up situation. Yeah, man, be kind to people and let's stop all this trash, man. Let's stop all this trash. But other than that, man, drop your tags and stuff, man, so we can get up true.
Oh yeah, man. Well, look, y'all know it's your man E. Carter, host of First Class Podcast. You can get with us on First Class Podcast Media fan page. A lot of information goes back and forth on there. That's usually where we go live at. You can also hit us on First Class Podcast Media. That's the main business page as far as Facebook. Haven't really been on Instagram a lot lately, but First Class Podcast, we're on Instagram as well. And in my Twitter, I've been trying to get back on Twitter and get that going, get some more followers, man, get my tweet game up. That's Easy E721. That's my personal page. I probably, the bigger my personal page get, I'll probably bring back a First Class page or something to that effect, man, on there. But you can always hit on my personal page, my Gov Eric Carter. You can hit me up on Facebook, man, and I'll gladly answer any and all your questions pertaining to this show or any show under our platform or umbrella that we're doing right now. So go ahead and holler at your boy.
Yeah, man, and want to let everybody know we working on a network. We just trying to finalize the name. You know what I mean? So if you gotta, you want to include yourself in the vote, you can go on. I think it's the First Class Podcast group page.
Yeah, it's the group page, First Class Podcast Media fan page.
Okay, so go to the First Class Podcast Media fan page. First off, like the page, follow the page, then go ahead and see that poll, And y'all can vote on some of them network names that's there. You know what I mean? You might be a contributing factor in the name. You could say, I did that. You know what I mean? And then plus,
Right.
you know, it'll help out the First Class Podcast Media fan page. So do that. And then I want to shout out some of our affiliates or whatever. My man Scoots Bronson with the and S. Dot with the Viewers Anonymous. Scoots on his own with the Already Home. You got 28 minutes or less with my man S. Foster. Check that out. The D Drippy Network with JD on YouTube. Check that out. You know, they always got content out for y'all. If you like us, go like and follow them. You'll see a lot more of them and a lot more of us doing collaborations and stuff like that. So go check them out. Also, you can find us on anything at the link ENT LLC, except for Instagram is at the link Entertainment LLC. Our website is the link ENTLLC.com. Also, check out Kurt's Custom Engraving. That's on Facebook and on Etsy at this time until we drop a store online, which is coming soon. We do all type of engraving. I just did some keychains, some dog tags, and I engraved the cardboard boxes that I'm shipping, the gift boxes that I'm shipping them out in. So, bro, we doing everything over here.
Yeah, you roll.
Yeah, I'm about to start doing Xbox controllers and the Apple Watch wristbands. I might wear my Apple Watch next show so they can see what I'm talking about. Yeah, man. So, you know, we do all of that type of stuff. Check us out at Kurt's Custom Engraving on Facebook and on Etsy as well. New products will be coming soon. Other than that, man, like I said, be kind. Thank y'all for listening, spending some time with us. If y'all need anything, drop it below. Like, follow, share, subscribe. We'll see y'all next week on Sports Entertainment and Extra Sheet. Until next time, we love y'all. Peace.